First home game of the season for the Yankees. They get out of the Bronx, which I think we're actually excited for. Go somewhere else. Maybe the weather's a little warmer. It is the Baltimore Orioles opening day, and it is the Talkin Yanks pregame show. Thank you for joining us. We needed a change of scenery, Jake. We needed a fresh start. They're on the road. They're going down to Baltimore. This has been a fun, nice home for them in the past. And we have a lineup that you and I both just read out and said, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a good news, bad news thing because we've had all these injuries and we've seen them mixing up lineups and this, that, and the other. Haven't been dropping too many of those this year, but this is a good lineup, man. Gardy, Judge, Voit. I'll say the positions too because I got rolling there. Gardy center, Judge right, Voit DH, Sanchez catching, Bird at first, LeMahieu at third, Glaber at short, Clint at left, Wade at second, and man, it almost turns into one of my favorite things about the bullpen is when you add an arm to your bullpen and you can move guys down a slot, it makes your total bullpen better. That's just what happened with the lineup. Like, I see Clint Frazier, Tyler Wade, 8-9, and I'm like, yeah, I think those guys kind of are 8 or 9 hitters. And, I mean, you know, with Glaber in the 7th hole, a guy that we did see hit cleanup this year, LeMahieu's a guy that can lead off or bat anywhere. And then, I mean, with the meat in the middle of the lineup, you look at this team and you're like, okay, this is for 11 guys being hurt, yeah, this is actually good.
It's crazy because there are 11 guys hurt. We still are missing Andujar, Hicks, Stanton, Didi. But this is a solid lineup. It's better than what the Orioles are running out there. I mean, you have Clinton Wade at the bottom, but up until then, Gardner leading off, Judge, Voit, Sanchez, Bird, DJ LeMahieu, Glaber. Those guys, when they're doing what they should be doing, it's a great 1 through 7 or whatever it is.
Yeah. Even, again, like I know we can be tough on Clint, but having, you know, a guy that was a pretty big prospect and Tyler Wade who had a good spring, 8 or 9 this early in the season, you know, we can be fine with that too.
Yeah. So do this more often, I guess. We got Estrada on the bench. See what happens with him. Paxton on the bump. For the Orioles, they have Villar. They have Smith Jr. in left field. Villar's playing second. Smith Jr. in left field. Mancini in right field. Nunez DHing. Ruiz playing third. Ricard in center. Chris Davis, I think he's still awful. I don't think the series in between these, he got any better. Sucre's catching. That kind of sucks because he was a pest last time. Martin's at short. And COBB, a AL East regular, is this his first game of the season, or did he? Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, he got bumped. So if you're wondering what the Orioles have been doing since they beat us in the opening series, they just beat the Blue Jays 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Mancini is off to a really hot start for them. He has a .417 batting average and a 1.233 OPS. He's got like 3 home runs in 6 games. And he is their MLB player. Is he the only guy that would be starting on other MLB teams right now?
Mancini?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for some guys. I mean, Smith Jr. has looked solid. VR for being a middle infielder, I think, is there too. But Jim, I'm not going to say it's past that point because baseball is going to have a leveling off soon. I almost said a reckoning. That would have been pretty dramatic. But, you know, this is a team of young guys who have a chance to play Major League Baseball. I mean, VR has done some stuff. Mancini has done some stuff. You know, there's a reason Smith Jr.'s batting 2-hole for them, and it's a team that beat us a couple games. So, you know, yes, you're right. A lot of these guys would not be getting everyday roles for a lot of baseball teams. But, I mean, we have to watch that whole mentality.
Yeah. I mean, the Yankees are losing right now. So there's no, like, I don't care if they're losing the bums or they're losing the good people. Just win. So, nothing is coming easy for them.
Ricard's off to a decent start. He's got a 924 OPS. VR's got a 906. Trey's off to a very hot start. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to see the Hanser Alberto on their bench with a couple nice days. Yeah, man. I mean, this is what it is for the O's, if you want to call them major leaguers or not. But a lot of these guys are going to be the guys we're going to see all year. So, I don't know. Cobb had a pulled groin, so this is his first start. We'll see if that limits him at all, or if there's any effects around that.
Cobb has a long history versus the Yankees because he was in the AL East on the Rays for a while. He actually has good numbers versus the Yankees. He has a 2.9 ERA in how many starts? 17 games, 16 career starts, a 2.9 ERA. That's pretty good. A lot of that is old Yankee teams that were bad up until 2016, but he did face them 3 times last year, I believe, and had good games. Yeah, he's good. He's good versus the Yankees. He in 2017, he had a rough year. Everyone thought he was going to get big money going in his contract year, and they didn't. And he got one of those guys that signed late with the Orioles for not as much as I think he thought he was going to get. But he had a good year. I don't know about his year last year, but I know he's good against the Yankees. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He's been good against the Yankees. Could be trouble. I mean, not anyone really has crazy numbers versus him on the Yankees. We have Brett Gardner's got the best numbers. He's 8 for 32, which is a 400 batting average and 342 on base. So that's not bad.
Yeah, man. Cobb, you're right. It was actually funny if you remember last year. He didn't get paid, and then the Orioles freaked out because someone got hurt, and then they paid him pretty good. He got like 14 for 4 years, which, hey, good for you, Big Daddy. But yeah, he gets his first start, and I don't want to say he's the classic because he's a pretty solid starter. I think he's got a career 3.74 ERA. He's pitched in the playoffs a little bit. He's thrown a lot of major league innings. He's a good guy. He's the classic, though, that you see him on the mound against the Yankees, and you're like, all right, let's get 4 or 5 against them. And then you're in the 6th or 7th, and you have 0 or 1 run, which has been plaguing this team currently this season. So a little nervous there.
He gave up 2 home runs to the Yankees last year, 1 to Voit and 1 to Glaber. I think both might have been opposite field shots. So maybe they're comfortable. Gardy's comfortable. Gardy popped him a long time ago and has good numbers, so Gardy might be comfortable. Voit and Glaber may have a good memory when they step into the box, but other than that, there's not really anything to look at there. On our side of the ball, we have James Paxton, who just faced this Oriole team a week ago in his last start. Kind of interesting when that happens, when your first 2 starts against the first team. And he was lights out. He was lights out in his first start, and hopefully we get to see that again. I mean, 5.2 innings pitched, 1 earned run. He was only at 82 pitches, so I'd like to see his pitch count jump up this outing. Like, if he's dominant, let him go to 100, let him go to high 90s, and see how far he can take you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You wonder if they will push him if they're rolling. Again, I'm not going to say it's crisis mode, but Yankees need wins. I mean, just from morale standpoints. Yeah, and you wonder how far they will push him. They had one of those. They had one of the 2 error games that they lost. Jimmy Yacobonis got the win in that last game. But Pax Daddy looked good, so would be a great note if he looks good again for the overlook of this entire season.
Yeah. So we like the lineup. Cobb's going to be a tough pitching matchup, but they got away from the stadium, which I think they needed just to get out of there. There's bad vibes all around. Hopefully they go on the road. They might even have a friendlier stadium in Baltimore because I don't know how many season ticket holders are tuning in for this Orioles team this season. Maybe now that they got off to a decently hot start, they're excited. But I would think there's going to be a lot of Yankee fans in the crowd today. Jake, what are you honing in on? What is your what to watch for this game?
Yeah, my what to watch for. I normally don't double check with you. I normally let it ride, but I did today because I wasn't sure. Man, for me, it's the strikeouts. And I know a lot of people usually get overamped up about the strikeouts, and I don't want to feed those people too much because normally it is what it is. But yesterday they set the Yankee record. I mean, 18 strikeouts, and it wasn't a no, not to be rude, but not a Hall of Famer on the mound yesterday. And today we have Alex Cobb. He's not a huge strikeout guy, but he's a solid pitcher. And like we mentioned, this lineup is deep again, Jimmy. They talk about lanes now and all these different new baseball terms to talk about the different tough parts of a lineup. Any lane, I mean, the last two guys are young and figuring their own thing out. But, dude, 7-hole Glaber. The other day, we had Mike Talkman in the 6-hole. We've got 7-hole Glaber. This lineup's got some depth to it. Every inning yesterday felt like, and there's 2 outs, nobody on. And then, someone gets a walk or someone got on. It's just like, let's put some rallies together. Let's put the ball in play. I don't want to sound too old man because I know baseball's not fully at that point, but the Yankees need to see a little bit of that.
They do. They do.
They really do.
My what to watch for is a little bit silly coming out of your mouth, but it's Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has great numbers versus the Baltimore Orioles. 326 lifetime batting average, 1.139 career OPS versus the Orioles in 41 games, Jake. In 41 games, he has 13 home runs, 34 RBIs. He had a good opening series. He didn't hit a home run, but he had a 467 on-base percentage in that opening series versus Baltimore. In Camden Yards, he has a 410 on-base percentage and 926 OPS in 18 games. He's got 4 home runs, 3 doubles, 10 RBIs. And we're going to say this until it happens. We need to see Judge. He's doing it defensively, and he's doing good contact hitting. But we need to see, like if Judge has a fucking moonshot, Jake, like a 450 blast, how much would that do for this team? Just to see it, man. Just to, like a dunk in the middle of a basketball game just gets the crowd like, oh, hell yeah. That's what I'm looking for. I need Judge to give us one of those moments.
Yeah, and that's we talked about the Orioles not playing like the Orioles not fielding necessarily a lot of big name major league players. Man, I feel like when the other teams are seeing Judge come up to the plate, they're like, you know what? If I walk this guy, it is what it is. Because right now, I don't think anyone's too scared of Voit or the guys that are coming up behind them. So it would be nice if we get some runners on. They have to pitch to Judge. He did have the RBI single. The spring training, all doubles and homers. We could use one of those today for sure. Because it is extra. It's multiplied when it's by Judge. It really is, crowd-wise and team-wise.
Yep. Let's go to the homer draft.
Homer draft. It's a homer draft.
I get to go first. No one scored in the last 2 games because no one's hit a homer in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I get the first pick, and I mean, I told you yesterday I was waiting out Judge to get to Baltimore, get away. I'm taking Judge right away. It's my second. Oh, wait, I can't take Judge. What's the rule?
Or no, you can't take Judge.
The rule was you can take everyone twice besides Judge.
Yeah.
So we've both used up Judge.
Yeah.
All right, then I am taking. I'm taking Voit. Last year, he broke out versus the Yankees, or broke out with the Yankees versus Baltimore. Remember, his coming out story was in Players Weekend versus Baltimore. He got Cobb last year, so let's see Voit really put together. He didn't get a single hit last series. I hope he can calm down and pop one today and start a new streak of getting a hit every game of a series.
I like it, James. I like it. My first one here, I'm going Gary. Gary's the guy hitting home runs on this team. So let's turn it into from a couple good games to Gary to officially a hot start. He hits a homer today. It's a hot start for Gary Sanchez. Which,
all right,
if we told you 7 games in Gary Sanchez was off to a hot start and the pitching looked good, you'd be a Yankee fan. So that's how you half full, half empty. My second pick, Jimmy, I'm between a couple guys. I am going to go with Clint Frazier.
Oh, wow. You couldn't take him yesterday because I stole him from you, so you're taking him today.
I'm taking him today. Baltimore's friendly. They wear orange. His hair's orange. There's your logic.
Jake, that is sound logic.
You like that?
I think it's phenomenal. I think it's expert thinking on your part. He feels more comfortable when he's surrounded by orange.
Right. Normally he's on the field and people are staring and they see his orange stick out and they're like, whoa. But against the Orioles, it's just another day at the stadium.
Another day at the stadium. I am taking Greg Bird. I haven't taken him yet this week, so I'm not even doubling up. Greg Bird has hit a home run versus the Orioles in every season of his career that he's played a game in. He got 1 in 2015, 2 in 2017, 2 in 2018, and he's already hit 1 against the Orioles in 2019. It's another comfortability thing. It's the first base race wages on thing, so I'm taking Voit and Bird. One of them is going to pop a homer.
I like the Voit and Bird play at this point of the season. Strong,
yeah. All right. And Jake, the ESPN or the Vegas over-under is 7.5 runs. What are you taking there?
Today you have to hit the over.
I'm taking the under.
Ooh, you think the Yanks are full slide mode, huh?
COBB versus Paxton, I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's low at this point in the season, especially with the Yankees hitting a point where they got to get some runs. Give me a final. Oh, how about repeat a Yankees opening day today? 7-2.
7-2? Okay. Because
Yanks.
How many Yankee games so far have gone over 7.5?
Not a lot. We had the 5-3 game. There's the 7-2 game. The rest might be under.
Yeah, the last 3 were all under. It was 4-4-3.
That means they're due, baby.
All right, here we go. We got an off day tomorrow, so even if it's miserable, even if it's dull, soak it in because it is baseball. Play ball.